The sun beat down relentlessly on the arid plains, a land where water was scarce and life clung stubbornly to existence. A traveler, known far and wide for his own acts of charity and wisdom, journeyed across this harsh expanse. Dust coated his cloak, and weariness etched lines deep into his face. As dusk painted the sky in fiery hues, he spotted a simple stone hut nestled against a low ridge, smoke curling feebly from a crude chimney. Approaching, he was met by the dwelling's sole inhabitant, a shepherd whose face mirrored the weathered landscape. His entire worldly wealth was evident nearby. Two thin sheep grazing on the sparse, tough grass. Seeing the traveler's evident exhaustion, the shepherd didn't hesitate.
Welcome, weary soul. The plains offer little shelter. Come, share what warmth and shelter my home provides.
The shepherd ushered him inside the humble dwelling, little more than a single room with a dirt floor and a small hearth. That evening, moved by a profound sense of hospitality that transcended his poverty, the shepherd did the unthinkable. He went outside, selected one of his two precious sheep, and slaughtered it. The aroma of roasting meat soon filled the hut, a rare and precious gift in that place of scarcity. The traveler, deeply touched by this sacrifice, savored the simple meal. He found the liver particularly flavorful. The traveler remarked sincerely,
"This liver, it has a richness, a depth I haven't tasted in many miles. Truly exceptional."
The shepherd nodded silently, absorbing the compliment. The next morning, as the first light of dawn crept over the ridge, the traveler awoke to the familiar scent of cooking meat. To his astonishment, he saw the shepherd tending the small fire, carefully roasting the liver of his second and only remaining sheep.
You slaughtered your other sheep.
You spoke so highly of the liver last night. I wished you to have the best of what little remains.
The traveler was speechless. This man, possessing nothing but these two animals, essential for his very survival, milk, wool, perhaps future offspring, had given everything he owned simply because a guest had praised a part of the first gift. The depth of this sacrifice, offered without fanfare or expectation, struck the traveler to his core. He ate the offered liver, the taste now carrying the weight of immeasurable generosity. Before departing later that morning, profoundly moved, the traveler acted. He sent word with a passing trader to his own distant lands. Within a week, a small drove arrived at the shepherd's hut, 500 healthy sheep. The shepherd stood dumbfounded as the animals milled around his previously empty grazing spot. Sometime later, the traveler was conversing with companions in a bustling town far removed from the arid plains. They spoke of generosity, naturally turning to the traveler's renowned acts. One companion ventured,
"Surely, O traveler, you must be the most generous soul among us. Have you ever met one whose generosity surpassed your own?"
The traveler grew quiet, his eyes seeing again the stone hut and the shepherd. He answered firmly,
"Yes, I have met such a man."
He recounted the tale. The harsh land, the humble hut, the shepherd with only 2 sheep, the slaughter of the first, the praise for the liver, and the astonishing sacrifice of the second. His companions listened, rapt.
What then did you do, O traveler? How did you respond to such extraordinary kindness?
"I sent him 500 sheep."
The traveler stated. A murmur of approval and awe rippled through the group. The first companion exclaimed,
"Then truly your generosity shines the brightest. 500 sheep for 2, such magnificent largesse."
The traveler shook his head slowly, a profound sadness and understanding in his eyes.
"No, you misunderstand. You judge only the number, the quantity. That shepherd gave me everything he possessed in this world. He held back nothing. He sacrificed his entire security, his future, for a guest, for a kind word. What I gave him, 500 sheep, it was merely a fraction of the flocks that roam my pastures, a sliver of my abundance. He gave all he had. I gave only a small part of what I have. His generosity born of utter sacrifice, outweighs mine 1,000-fold. True generosity is measured not by the weight of the gift, but by the weight of the sacrifice it represents.
Silence fell upon the companions. The simple arithmetic of sheep counted for nothing against the traveler's revelation. The magnitude of the shepherd's gift, given from profound poverty, resonated deeply, redefining their understanding of what it truly meant to be generous. All right, folks, let's dive deep and decode this tale of the shepherd's measure. It's a story that hits you with a quiet power, doesn't it? On the surface, it seems straightforward. A poor man gives everything, a rich man gives a lot but less proportionally, and the poor man wins the generosity contest. But why does this simple contrast resonate so strongly? Why does it feel like a gut punch to our usual way of thinking? First off, the story masterfully exposes a common societal blind spot. We live in a world obsessed with scale. Bigger numbers, larger donations, grander gestures, these naturally grab headlines and often our admiration. The traveler's companions fall right into this trap. They hear 500 sheep and immediately crown him the champion of generosity. It's a quantitative assessment, pure and simple. More stuff given equals more generosity. End of story? Or is it? The traveler, having experienced the raw reality of the shepherd's sacrifice, shatters this illusion. He introduces the crucial, often overlooked qualitative dimension of giving: sacrifice. The shepherd didn't just give what he had. He gave all he had. Those 2 sheep weren't just livestock. They were his livelihood, his pantry, his savings account, his future security. Slaughtering them wasn't charity. It was an act of profound self-effacement, an offering made from a place of true emptiness. There was no safety net. That's the staggering weight the traveler felt. Now, contrast that with the traveler's gift. 500 sheep. An enormous fortune to the shepherd. Absolutely life-changing. But here's the twist the story forces us to confront. For the traveler, it was surplus. It came from his abundance without diminishing his fundamental security or altering his way of life. It was generous, yes, incredibly so, but it lacked the existential weight, the sheer cost to the giver, that defined the shepherd's act. The traveler gave from his wealth. The shepherd gave his wealth. This is where DecodeTales really finds the core lesson. True generosity is measured by the giver's sacrifice, not the receiver's gain. It flips the script. It asks, not, how much did they get, but how much did it cost you to give? This perspective challenges our own giving. Do we give only from our excess, what we won't truly miss? Or are we willing to give something that actually costs us? Our time when we're busy, our comfort, our resources when they aren't overflowing? The story also speaks volumes about motivation. The shepherd's act was pure. It wasn't for recognition. Who would see it in that desert hut? Not for repayment, he expected nothing, and not even initially prompted by a direct request beyond basic hospitality. It flowed from a genuine, almost instinctive desire to honor his guest with the best he could possibly offer, escalating to the ultimate sacrifice based solely on the guest's appreciation. His generosity was an expression of his character, not a transaction. The traveler, while deeply generous by any standard, operates in a different sphere. His gift, magnificent as it is a response. It's prompted by being profoundly moved by the shepherd's act. It's also, arguably, an attempt to balance a debt he felt, the debt of witnessing such pure, sacrificial giving. This doesn't diminish his kindness, but it highlights a different origin point compared to the shepherd's spontaneous, cost-everything offering. So what's the takeaway for us right here, right now? The shepherd's measure isn't telling billionaires to give away everything, though it wouldn't hurt. It's inviting all of us to examine the nature of our own giving. It asks, are we giving just from our surplus, or does it sometimes pinch? Do we recognize and honor the profound generosity in small sacrificial acts around us, often unseen? Are we valuing gifts based solely on their monetary worth, or do we see the love, effort, and sacrifice behind them? It reframes generosity as a matter of the heart and the spirit, not the bank account. The most valuable gift might be the small one given by someone who has little else to give. That's the enduring wisdom here. What do you think, DecodeTales community? Have you experienced or witnessed generosity that felt truly sacrificial? What's harder, giving a lot when you have plenty or giving a little when you have almost nothing? Share your thoughts and stories down in the comments. If this kind of deep dive into timeless wisdom resonates with you, be sure to check out our other story analyses. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to DecodeTales so you don't miss our next exploration into the stories that shape us. Thanks for listening.